Did you know that for this movie, rather than going to these cities and visiting in person, the animation team spent many hours watching point-of-view city tours of Amsterdam and Venice for inspiration. So when this movie came out, I was planning on seeing it in theaters, but I got busy watching other stuff and never got around to reviewing this movie. I finally got to see it yesterday. It's on Disney+. I have a lot of good things to say about this movie. There are a couple of things that I didn't like about this movie, but I'll share those at the end. First thing, I want to just give a round of applause to Pixar for the creativity once again. Pixar just never disappoints me when it comes to how they come up with ideas and how they execute those ideas. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this movie. I actually had my mind blown a couple times. Just how cool the animation looked and how the animation team and everybody thought outside the box with how can we showcase cool things that fire can do and cool things that water can do, and then we can combine them together and show how they actually can work together. This is also a really cool thing for kids. It's a very educational film, honestly, when it comes to the simple sciences behind fire and water. I found the fire people interesting in this movie. I looked this up because I was genuinely curious. The fire people are seen as immigrants because they're the only element in the movie to speak in a foreign language. Everyone else speaks English, and it's a nod to the director's parents came over from Korea. Most of the movie actually focused on the fire people and just their struggles and how they don't really mix with anything. A lot of people avoid fire for a lot of reasons. They don't mix well with any elements. It definitely made you think more about how some people feel when they're out and about when they're not around people that are like them. They feel like they're outcast. They just feel like they can't mix with anybody. There's a couple good life lessons in this movie. I'd say the biggest one is expectations. Specifically, expectations for your life. Expectations that people hold you to, your parents hold you to. Ember was being held at a pretty high expectation that she was going to take over the family store once her father retired, and she just kept proving herself and proving herself. But then Wade came into Ember's life and kind of showed her setting your own expectations, not letting other people dictate what you do with your life. And I just like the comparison there too between Wade's life and Ember's life. How he's pretty much entitled, he's got everything, and she's had to work and claw and scratch and fight for everything. So it's very opposite dynamics, but very powerful life lesson with what expectations do you want in your life. So the things I didn't like about this movie, the past 4 Pixar movies have all had basically the same formula. And there's been no villain in these movies. It's more of your family or a family member is seen as kind of the bad guy. And I didn't like it to begin with, that whole formula, and it's getting really old and I'm really over this whole formula that Pixar is going with. Then I also thought there were some cringy moments in the movie. Specifically, every time that Wade and his parents would come on screen, they would do all these weird crying scenes and they would do all these sayings and singing weird songs. It just made me cringe, honestly. Every single time they showed up on the screen, I didn't like it at all. And it's like, can we please not do this again? It's not fun. It's not funny. It didn't add to anything. It just was unnecessary drama and cringiness that I don't need in my life. It is a good Pixar movie. It's not great, but it is good. Pixar did a good job with this movie. So I highly recommend. Check it out. It's on Disney Plus right now. So for Elemental, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What is your favorite element and why? See you next time.